Hey guys, now in this video, let's understand what are the problems with port forwarding. See guys, until now, we are accessing our app locally, that is from our local laptop, using port forwarding. So again, we have a pod and in that pod, our .NET app is running. So from our local laptop browser, we use port forwarding. So using port forwarding, we connect to pod and ultimately we connect to our .NET application. So thus from our laptop browser, we are able to access our .NET application. So it's good for local testing. But then there are a couple of major problems. So first, port forwarding is connected to a specific pod. So for example, it may be connected to this specific pod, that is pod 1. And if pod 1 gets deleted, obviously deployment will create another pod, that is pod 2, automatically. But existing port forwarding stops working. So again, because that port forwarding, it still refers to this pod 1 which is now deleted. It does not automatically refer to the new pod, that is pod 2. And second problem, what if we have multiple pods? So let's say pod 1, pod 2 and pod 3. So as we said, port forwarding connects to a specific pod. So let's say it connects to this pod 1 only. But then as it connects to this pod 1 only, it cannot redirect the traffic to pod 2 and pod 3. That means it cannot automatically distribute the traffic across all the pods. So first, let me quickly show you the demo of this problem 1, and I guess understanding problem 2 is quite simple and straightforward. You can easily try that demo. And then in our next video, we will discuss Kubernetes service. So Kubernetes service is something which solves both of these problems. So when a pod gets replaced, so here you see pod 1 is deleted and pod 2 is created, we can still connect to the application from our local laptop. That is, we are still able to access that application. Plus Kubernetes service, it can distribute the traffic across all the pods. So again, Kubernetes service is for the next video. And now let's quickly see the demo of this problem 1. So again guys, if you see, we are in Visual Studio in our project, we are in this deployment.yaml, and here we are saying create replica 1, that is one pod should be created. Now I have already created this deployment and this deployment has already created a pod. Let me quickly show you. So again PowerShell, run as admin. Let's maximize. I will say clear screen. Now first let's go to the folder where we have our application. So in Visual Studio, right click, I'll say open folder. Let's copy this path and here I will say cd that path. Great. Now let's see what are the existing deployments. So I will say kubectl get deployments. So you can see this is our existing deployment, and again this deployment has been created through this deployment.yaml file. So basically you have to simply say kubectl apply command. Now let's see which are the pods created through or via this deployment. So I will say kubectl get pods. So yes, we can see one pod. See this and see this name. It says our first Kubernetes app hyphen deployment. So that means this pod has been created by this deployment, right? And now let's connect to this pod, that is this pod. So let's connect to this pod through our local browser. So again we will do port forwarding. So I will say kubectl port forward. Let's copy this pod name and then I will say 8200:8080. So it means inside the pod, application is running on port 8080 and locally we are mapping it to port 8200. That means from our local laptop, we should be able to access this application over port 8200. Now let's say enter. So it looks like it's working, and let's cross check by opening a browser. So here if I say localhost 8200, yes, we are able to access the application. I will say refresh. Yes, it works. Now let's do one thing. Here let's delete this pod so that deployment will create a new pod, but then we will observe that now our application does not work because again this port forwarding, it is tied to this existing pod and it will not be tied to the newly created pod. So here I will say Control C. So again let's copy this pod name, and here I will say kubectl delete pod name. Let's say enter. So yes, the pod has been deleted, and if we say now get pods, we will see a new pod. Again deployment will create new pod automatically. So let me say enter, and yes, now we have the new pod, that is something different. But now if I say refresh over here, it will not work. And see this. So again, that's the problem with port forwarding. And so let's discuss Kubernetes service in our next video.